Peace, it's Professor Griff. I'm speaking up, aloud, and loudly. Peace.
The energy, the faith, the devotion, which we bring to this endeavor, will guide our country and all observe it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
Okay, it's your boy Jude Dre, Feasts Up, Aloud, and Loudly, and I'm here with a legend, like a sheer legend when it comes to this whole hip-hop industry and the hip-hop game. I'm here with none other than Public Enemy's Professor Griff. Professor Griff, what's going on, bro?
A whole bunch of nothing, a little bit of everything.
You know I feel you. So, man, so much stuff, man. So much stuff to ask you. I mean, it's crazy, so much knowledge sitting next to me right now. But, you know what I'm saying? Professor Griff, what have you been doing since Public Enemy? Because everybody kind of knows you from Public Enemy. So what have you been doing since that?
Well, there's no sense. I'm still in Public Enemy, so
True.
the story's still being written, it's still being told.
That's what's up.
But I have an idea what you mean by that. A lot of times when you're not visible, people think that it ended.
Right.
And you went off to do something else.
Right.
Not the case. We just put out an album.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You just put out an album?
Just put out an album. Nothing Quick in the Desert. What, 4 months ago?
Oh, wow.
And as you can tell by the sound of things, we're in the hood. This is the SWATs.
Yeah.
My man need a muffler, but we just saying.
We outside.
Southwest Atlanta territory, the SWATs.
That's true, man.
But we just put out an album, Nothing Quick in the Desert.
Okay.
Which I had the honor and pleasure of inviting my wife on the project Soleil.
Oh, that's what's up.
So we did a song called Social Media Digital Heroin,
Okay.
which is the subject today for my lecture.
Look at that.
Yeah, Social
bro.
Media Digital Heroin.
Okay, so what, I mean, since that's the song, what's that about?
Well, it's basically about this whole idea of how technology now has rewired our brains. So we act and talk and communicate with one another totally different.
Than that face-to-face.
Exactly, and I'm old school. I grew up at a time where my mom had the big black telephone in the hallway or in her bedroom when nobody can answer it but her. And it was rotary joint and you had to remember phone numbers. You couldn't stay on the phone too long.
Wow.
So I grew up in that period. I grew up with cassette tapes.
Oh, man.
You understand what I'm saying? I grew up when if y'all did have a phone in the kitchen or whatever, it had that long cord.
Right.
And you wanted to make love on the phone when your mom wasn't home, she was at work, you would lay in the hallway.
With the long cord, twirling.
Exactly. So I grew up at a different period and in a different time.
Right.
Nowadays, everything is instant gratification.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? People are falling in love in a week. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true, though.
The whole idea of communicating with somebody is totally different, and I just think it's
Do you think it's bad or you think it's good? Because I mean, like, it was such a problem for communication back then, for people to, you know, say, hey, oh, I got an idea or plan, let me call somebody, and then 9 times out of 10, when your plan is like 2 weeks from now, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to right now, you could be like, yo, I'm about to set up a meeting, go on Facebook or social media, and it could be done it could be there tomorrow.
And if you came up with 10 quick, not quick, but 10 ideas, and by the time you fell asleep with the phone on your face, making love on the phone, I see women with the phone in their bra.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I see brothers carrying the phone on their hip. And all that radiation, you may not get to the meeting. You may not even live long enough to see that idea come to fruition.
I'm with you.
So you're just warning people and letting people know the dangers, not only of cell phones, but the way we speak to one another. The whole idea of the cell phone and technology and social media ushering in the mumble rapper is something that I have to talk about. They talk that way and act that way because of course, you know, parenting, drugs, and then social media. If you're having a conversation with a brother and they can only speak in 140 characters, i.e. your president, it's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's a problem.
But you can't deny that that's how society is leaning towards. It's like, even though that is the problem, it's like people are leaning towards that. They would rather hear a tweet from you than actually hear you speak. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like that instant gratification is what we are. So how do you fight that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I beg to differ.
Okay.
And there's people in certain regions of the world that don't rely on cell phones, and they communicate fine.
That's true, though. That's true.
They communicate fine.
That's true.
So yeah, so no, it's this fast-paced instant gratification, popping fresh dough, supersize me kind of world we live in.
Right.
And people want it right now. It's like, no, they have, just to give you an example, they have smart condoms.
Smart condoms.
Smart condoms.
You making this up, man?
No, I'm absolutely not making it up. Look it up for yourself. Grab your cell phone and put in the smart condom. It actually, when you roll it up on your joint, it lets you know what kind of disease you already have before you. When you turn the light out, it'll glow a certain color, and it'll let you know whether you have herpes, a venereal disease, whatever.
Word.
Exactly. Smart condoms. It's there. You want to live in that kind of world? You want your children to live in that kind of world? See, in your mind, you're saying that's a plus and a minus to that.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Right,
but I'm giving the lecture so you can make that decision.
Okay.
Because if you never heard this, I'm not equipping you to make that decision. Thank you. I'm not making the decision for you.
Right, you're just saying this is what's out here.
Right.
Do you know this?
Exactly.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
So, all right, your name is Professor Griff. It's always been.
Title is Professor.
Title.
Name is Griff.
Okay, so with that being said, like, where was Student Griff at? Like, who did Student Griff learn from?
That's deep. and that's a beautiful thing, because Student Griff learned from all of the elders that we see on the scene today, that you might see in a documentary film called Hidden Colors, that you might see in a documentary film called Out of Darkness. So Student Griff learned at the African American experience, learning how to build African drums and speak African languages with Chuck D. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
At 6 and 7 years old. You understand what I'm saying? Student Griff learned that first word up in Harlem. The Dr. John Henry Clark's, the Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen's, Ivan Van Sertima, the Professor Simmons, Professor Small, Shashi McIntyre. I could go on and on. And First World was one of those places that you went, it was almost like a mecca to go get knowledge up in Harlem.
Really?
Student Griff learned at the African Poetry Theater in Brooklyn, the Amos Wilsons. You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Shaka Musa Barashangos. You understand what I'm saying? Student Griff learned at the Poetry Theater in Queens. The Student Griff learned on the street corner in Roosevelt, Long Island, where Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy grew up, where Dr. J grew up. I gotta put this down because I need some more fingers. Where two members of Guy grew up. Public Enemies from there. John Mack, I don't know if you know him, he played for the Colts. That whole area is an energy vortex.
Okay.
Right across the bridge, LONS, Leaders of the New School, Busta Rhymes, De La Soul, some other people. Further out on the islands, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD.
So you just had a plethora of...
Bruh, that's Student Griff. You understand what I'm saying? Student Griff got punched in the chest by the pimp and the drug dealer that was on the block, talking about, get your little ass from up here. What you doing up here? I know your mom. She didn't want you up here. Get out of here.
Wow.
Student Griff learned from those experiences. Student Griff learned from a mom who had 12 other children in the household, who played Al Green and the Delphonics and the Moments and the Intruders and the Temptations. You understand what I'm saying? I can go on and on
so
about
it
Student
really, a matter of fact that it took a village to teach Student Griff.
Exactly.
So okay, in your transformation from becoming Student Griff to Professor Griff, right? In that transformation, and also being able to be one of the luckiest people when I say that you got out of that area and went around the world. Like, what have you also learned being around the world? You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I was lucky to get out, because Roosevelt was only 1 square mile. A lot of things that was going on locally and globally.
Right.
My mom, she cushioned that.
Yo,
I got 12 brothers and sisters, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So by the time it got to me, it was filtered through my older brothers teaching me valuable lessons and that kind of thing. But the beautiful thing about being raised the way my mom raised me and then seeing the world, I think I got in the way of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
That young, invincible, I'm taking on the world.
Right.
That did Tupac I had in me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking on the world regardless of what's coming at me.
Right, that whole
And then
militant,
you had that 20-year-old testosterone operating in me, and I'm like, I'm willing to take on the world. You understand what I'm saying? So I was ready for it, but I wasn't ready for it.
Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Ready for it. Ready for it in a sense where I'm open to it.
Right. So
Not-
bring it on. Right.
Not ready for it because Howard Stern and you might want to put this in. Howard Stern was his family was the last white family to leave Roosevelt.
Word.
White Howard Stern, the Jewish dude Howard Stern. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was ready for it. I was open to it, not necessarily ready for it, but I was open to it.
Right.
But I was coming from purely, I didn't have too much dealing with white people. It's like you came down our block through our hood, yo, you caught it. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't no interaction like that with no white girls screaming at you, calling your name, pulling on your pants like while you on stage. I was like, I ain't never had that experience, so in the interaction with them, so it meant something totally different.
Okay.
To me, that's why if you watch the Public Enemy shows, I kept my behind in the back, watching everything. I got the big picture.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
So do you think like a lot of people get caught up in that? You know what I mean? Because it's different. It's really different. Like you said, if the only person with Howard Stern was the only person that you dealt with it out of Roosevelt, you know what I'm saying, being white.
Well, the insurance man and the guy that owned the local store, the hardware store, the guy at the bank.
Yeah, the people that own shit. Yeah, I understand. Like, not them. I'm talking about, like, when you're out there and you're in England and they have a whole different idea of what, you know what I'm saying? They don't even know your struggle, but they love your music. And they're jumping up and they're like, yo, Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying? You got real hardcore black music playing that they are reciting as white people. How was that to you when you first heard like white people really like just start reciting Public Enemy?
Well, you know something, that was definitely a different kind of experience. Our music pulled something out of them like it pulled something out of us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't all good, but it definitely wasn't bad. I mean, going to Ireland and seeing nigga go home on your dressing door, of course, we have to deal with that.
Right.
Certain countries, back in the day, they liked you, they spit on stage. And that's just different
If they liked you, they spit on stage.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Wow, that's
and
great.
then going to different countries where primarily they sell meat and dairy in every meal that you eat, you have to kind of deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then inclement weather, and then it wasn't even a cultural exchange. You understand what I'm saying? On a basic level. Y'all heard the music. You're understanding the aspects of the frequency and vibration in the music. You don't know me.
Right. You don't know where my culture comes from. You just see it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was witnessing culture banditry go on, stealing the culture, appropriating the culture. So I'm like, at one hand, I'm like, it's a pleasure meeting you, and you know, here's the autograph and here's the picture, but come on. But at the same time I'm shaking your hand, you got your hand in my back wallet, my back pocket, stealing hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real.
That's
so
true.
Yeah, it's real.
Man, that's crazy. So I mean, how from going overseas to coming back to America, did you witness a difference? Did you like?
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a big difference.
Right.
I know where you're going with. I don't mean to cut you off.
You know where
it's
I'm going.
a big
Okay,
difference.
good.
They appreciate you more.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time you go to sign the autograph, they got every album. They done bought the T-shirt. They done bought their wife and their girlfriend and the side chick a ticket.
I know.
They done.
You got everybody up in there.
They really support, and it almost will lull you to sleep if you're not rooted into who and what you are.
I know, right?
You might end up, going back over there and
just chilling.
hanging out with Becky Hasselflag. You know she don't mean you no damn good.
I know, right?
But I'm saying.
But it's still treated, it's treated well, and then like coming back here and it's like, still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like coming back here, and
it's
like you don't get any degree of love or respect.
You think like I was thinking about this. I want your opinion on this. All right, so Malcolm X left, and we went over, he came back over. He had a whole different perception. He was like, yo, it's not, the world is not like here, and even for soldiers that went to Vietnam and come back over here, like they're treated different over there, and then they come back over there like, yo, this is not it. And you being one of those people that, leave and come over and come back and be like what keeps you motivated to teaching, knowing you see in the big picture? What keeps you still motivated to teach?
The ones that I haven't reached. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Elijah Muhammad told the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that Master Farad Muhammad told him that he would walk a mountain 40 miles high just to teach one of us. by me hearing that, I can at least go to Detroit. Shit, you understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. I can at least go to St. Louis. I can at least go to the Chi, the south side of Chicago, to teach our brothers. You understand what I'm saying? I can at least go to LA.
That's true.
For the brothers that haven't heard it and need that up and close in person kind of experience, I can at least do that. So the thing that keeps me going is I don't get caught up into who I am or who I am not. And I understand who I am. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, I appreciate you with this interview. I got 2 more questions for you. I'm gonna let you go, bro. I really appreciate it.
Oh, give thanks.
All right, so the first question is, how can people reach you? That's number 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they want to go ahead and listen to sit in on one of your lectures or check out you on, just your what is it called? It's called archive of work.
Yeah, right.
How did it get to you?
Well, to be honest with you, I am very reachable.
Okay.
I put my phone number on every interview, every lecture, and it's out there for people to call me directly. Now, that comes with a price. That comes to the crazy dude binging on Professor Griff YouTube clips all night and calling me at 3:30 in the morning. Man, I just want to see if this was real. That dude. But my phone number is 678-557-2919. That's 678-557-2919. But if you Google my name, my information comes up. I'm there on IG. I'm not a Twitterite, so I don't do Twitter too well. It's only one or two. There's only 1 or 2 social media things I can tolerate.
Right.
I can tolerate IG and Facebook.
Okay.
I'm wrestling with Twitter and YouTube. My son had to, I don't even know how to spell Snapchat or Periscope or whatever the hell they got going on.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very reachable. People know I do a radio show every Wednesday. People know I'm on Brother Rich's show every week. So yeah, I'm reachable. And people know about the Helpful Essence. Once a month I'm here at the Helpful Essence. Because if people are gonna revere you as a quote unquote leader, which I don't revere myself and look at myself as that, the leaders have to be among the people. I gotta rub elbows with, and the people gotta see me and feel me and touch me to know me. So I'm here once a month. You understand what I'm saying?
Are you out here?
In the hood, still on the front line, making it happen.
That's what's up. So, all right, and the last question is, if Professor Griff met student Griff, what would he tell him? Like, if you met yourself 25 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
This guy got some deep questions.
Yo, only spot.
You have a lot to live for. You understand what I'm saying? I think Professor Griff would tell student Griff, I am because we are, therefore I am.
Right.
Professor Griff would tell student Griff, if you're going nowhere, any road will take you there. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Professor Griff would tell student Griff, bro, put the sword down. You understand what I'm saying? Uncock the gat. You understand what I'm saying? Let the heat cool off. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to handle every situation in that way.
Extreme.
You understand? Professor Griff would tell student Griff, would show student Griff aspects of what the future could look like and be like if you only make critical, rational, practical decisions today. You understand what I'm saying?
I get you. I'm with that.
I think Professor Griff would tell student Griff, for real, it's a beautiful thing, student Griff, that you waited until 18, 19 and you lost your virginity. Then you weren't wilding.
Right.
Professor Griff would tell student Griff, good looking out, that you never sold drugs, never ended up in jail. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At times when I saw you in those situations, that you did use the level.
Right.
Professor Griff would tell student Griff, you know something, go back and thank all those elders that saw you and saw something in you that guided you to who you are today. And I can honestly say today, I am because we are, therefore I am. That's the person that Stacy Douglas met. That's this person that my wife Soleil met, a refined, older, mature, calmer Griff. Because this interview would have been something serious, man, back in the day.
Yo,
for real.
This is. Thank you.
Oh, give thanks,
again,
man.
Yo, I
give
appreciate
thanks.
you. June Dre Feast, Up Aloud Loudly, Lion Imagery, talking about Johnny Prince's vision. And special thanks to Stacy Douglas of the Stacy Douglas Foundation, I really appreciate you putting this together for us. Professor Griff, you got a legend, boy. Asking them quality questions. You like that? It's your boy.
All right.
What would you tell yourself?
This guy got some deep questions.